Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Siti Adira binti Salmi, metric number 1911316. And today I will be sharing to you about the issues brought up by anti-vaccine groups and what does Islam say about that. Okay, so the first issue that is brought up by them is that they say that the diseases had already begun to disappear before vaccines were introduced because of better hygiene and sanitation. Yes, increase in socio-economic status actually led to increase in sanitation, increase in nutrition. We get nutrition because we are able to buy food, and then there are less crowding because we afford to buy houses. However, those diseases could come back. For example, in late 2019, polio disease come back because of emergence of anti-vaccine group, and we should actually learn from this mistake. And secondly, the argument is the majority of people who get disease have been vaccinated. It might seem true, but actually, because no vaccine is effective for 100% of the population. Why? Because vaccine is made by either weakening the virus or taking the toxin and mixing it with something else, and then by killing it. So these steps are made to make the vaccine safer, but enough to induce the immune system to produce antibody against the disease. But vaccine is effective for most of the population, around 85 to 95% of the populations. Okay. Thirdly, they also say that there are lots of vaccine that are associated with more adverse events and deaths than others. So parents should find the numbers of these lots and not allow their children to receive vaccines from them. So it should be no issue with this, because vaccine lot is tested for safety by its maker. For example, FDA and CDC in US will cooperate to make sure that each batch of vaccines are safe. Each batch of vaccine is safe. Okay, and fourthly, they say that vaccine-preventable diseases have been virtually eliminated from my country, so there's no need to vaccinate our children. So actually, as I said just now, that disease could come back through traveling, whether if immigrants comes in, if we don't have herd immunity, that disease could spread, or if the person who is unvaccinated go to endemic area and come back, the disease could spread easily if there is no herd immunity. And fifthly, they also argue that giving a child multiple vaccinations for different diseases at the same time increases the risk of harmful side effects and can overload the immune system. This is actually not true, because available scientific data show that there's no adverse side effects for giving multiple vaccines at the same time in normal childhood immune system. And we do this actually because of several reasons. To reduce the cost and to reduce the number of injections we need to give to children especially. And lastly, the issues brought up by them is that vaccines cause many harmful side effects, illness and even death, not to mention possible long-term effects we don't even know about. For example, the myth regarding this is about DTP vaccine can cause sudden infant death syndrome, SIDS, and alum, which is an adjuvant in vaccine, causes autism. Again, this is not true. I would like to give you an analogy, an example. So, for example, in a hot sunny day, ice cream sales increase, right? But at the same time, crime rate also increase. So does that mean that ice cream causes people to be more aggressive and cause that crime rate to increase? No, right? Because we can't see that correlation is the same to causation. It's not the same. There might be correlation, but that's not the cause. Because, for example, alum causes autism. If we want to see alum in vaccine causes autism, what about alum in the breast milk? For example, in breast milk, if someone is to consume breast milk for 6 months, it's already 2 times higher than the amount of alum we get in vaccines. Okay, so next, what does Islam say about vaccines? Mufti Wilayah Persekutuan actually support vaccination program because vaccination is a step of prevention from disease, and this is aligned with what is being said by Maqasid Syariah, which is the protection of life. Because prevention is better than cure, and this step is not just based on assumptions. It's based on scientific data. It's based on experience. For example, smallpox was successfully eradicated worldwide in 1980 after the introduction of vaccine. And we can see in our country, polio disease has also been eradicated since the year 2000, but because of the emergence of anti-vaccine groups, polio disease was reported. And this is what smallpox looks like. The left side is the person who is not vaccinated, and the right side is the child vaccinated. And this is so saddening to see. And this is what poliomyelitis looks like. This disease could cause a huge burden economically, so that's why we need to prevent the disease. And secondly, the consequences to the public is more important than individual interest. Because why? If enough people get vaccinated, the whole population will be immunized. Because it's not just about personal interest, whether I want to protect myself. It's my personal right to choose whether I want to be vaccinated, whether I want my child to be vaccinated or not. It's not about personal choice anymore, because it's about the community. Because there are people who cannot get vaccinated because of several reasons. Some of them has chronic diseases such as cancer. Some of them cannot get vaccinated because they have allergy towards vaccines. Some of them do not respond to vaccine even though they get vaccinated. So actually, even though they get vaccinated, they are not immunized. So these people are vulnerable to diseases. So we, as the people who are able to afford to get vaccinated, we should protect these vulnerable people. For example, right now is the COVID-19 pandemic. During this season, all of us should stay at home because why? Because we don't want to spread the disease to vulnerable people. It's not just about us. We don't want to be selfish. So please, people, vaccinate the children. So, as doctors, we should advise the parents to vaccinate their children, especially because the children cannot make decisions on their own right. And that's it from me. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.